Hi everyone, it's me. So as you can probably guess, my visa application has been accepted. Right on. I really just wanted to thank everybody who's been really supportive, all my family and friends, all the people that I've asked a million questions of during the application. And I mean, everybody left really nice comments for me on my last few visa videos. I really appreciate it. It is a huge stress off of my shoulders. It's still really terrifying because I don't really know what's gonna happen next, but I just wanted to say thank you. Other than saying thank you, I wanted to run through my premium appointment thingy, because if you're watching these videos because you want to do this visa and you do the premium appointment, I did make some mistakes. So without further ado, let's go. So for the Southeast, where I live, the closest premium appointment center, whatever you want to call it, is in Croydon, which I was actually thankful for because I was worried about getting into central London, or if it was going to be outside London, northwest. It's really awkward to get to, but Croydon is a good location for Southeast. Now I'm just going to be talking about Croydon. I am not an expert. Regulations might change by the time you do your appointment, but this might give you just a general idea of what to expect. We booked a Friday at 12:40 was our specific appointment. The idea was we didn't want to be driving anytime near rush hour, so we thought 12:40, that's a good time, you know, it's good. But we realized we were wrong. It's kind of like a doctor's office where if there's problems in the morning, it just pushes back everything else. So by the afternoon, lots of things are delayed. Maybe it was just the day that we went, but that was the kind of vibe we were getting. So, backtrack. We get to Croydon about 45 minutes before the appointment. Traffic ended up being perfect, so we got there a bit early. We parked, we sort of wandered a little bit. We got to the premium center about 20 minutes before my appointment, and when you go through the front doors, it's like airport security. So you have to go through a metal detector and you have to put all your stuff through the x-ray belt. Then you follow the signs up to the third floor, I think, and it's the premium center floor. So there's these desks where you check in, and you're supposed to check in around 10 minutes before your appointment, which ended up being about right for us. So these people basically check that you have the right application for what you're applying for, check that you've paid said application, and check that you have your passports. So it's just like a basic all-around check. After they've proved that you're not a total idiot and you at least have the very basics of your application correct, they give you a number. So my number for the day was 200. After getting checked in, they sent us off to this waiting room cafeteria kind of thing. So they had sandwiches and snacks and drinks and a water fountain and bathrooms and chairs. And not much else. After being checked in at around 12:30, so my appointment was supposed to start at 12:40, but we didn't actually get called to our next phase for a good 40 minutes or so. So basically you just sit in the waiting room and there's a whole bunch of screens and you wait for them to be 200, please see desk 10. So you're just waiting there, you're just watching these screens and they're just sort of just it's agony. So finally we get called to our first official step about 40 minutes after we arrived, and this was the woman who inputted all my details onto their database system type deal. Here's my first mistake. So I get to the woman, I give her my beautiful blue binder with all my stuff labeled in plastic wallets, color-coded dividers, and she's like, nah, I ain't taking that. So I had to take every sheet out of that binder because they don't accept it in binders. A bunch of people I had talked to who have done the application all suggested doing a binder. So I don't know if it's just Croydon that hates the binders or if it's just recent regulations have changed that they don't accept it. But I mean, I was a little heartbroken. So I'm sitting there like an idiot, taking every sheet out of this binder, and you just put it in a clear plastic folder, just loose. You just shove everything into this plastic folder. She does a bunch of stuff on the computer, and then she sends you away to another chair. So the next chair, I waited for about 5 minutes, and then I was called through to do my biometrics stuff. That's a digital signature, digital fingerprints, and a picture. And side note, I was so ill for this appointment. Like, so ill. So my picture, I mean, she's like, look at the camera, you can't smile, it's like a passport thing. And I'm just thinking, I'm gonna potentially have this picture for the next 2 years on this card, and I'm gonna look like an absolute zombie. But I get through the biometrics in like 2 minutes, and the woman at this point is like, right, okay, you can leave the building if you leave a mobile number. Otherwise, the wait until the next phase is gonna be at least 2.5 hours. But I was really anxious about leaving, and so I was like, no, it's fine, I'll just stay. So we get sent back through to the waiting room, and we wait. From 2 o'clock until about 4:30, we were in the phase, basically we were awaiting a caseworker to look at our application. So for those hours, I mean, my application just sat in a pile somewhere, and we just waited for somebody to look at it. Now here's my next big mistake. I was so stressed about this application, I didn't bring a single thing to do in the waiting room. I had no book, I had no headphones, I had no laptop. I was super ill, so I didn't even want to talk because breathing hurt. So we had nothing to do. The only thing I had in my purse were 2 pens and a notepad. So my boyfriend and I played about 40 games of Hangman, a couple tic-tac-toe, neither of us won, and then we just sat and sort of stared at the ceiling for the next 4 hours. So from 2 until 5:30, we sat in this waiting room. The last hour, somebody was actually looking at our application. Now, while you're waiting in that room, you might be called in to answer a couple questions, like if they have like concerns about something or they're unsure. Luckily, not to toot my own horn, but mine was impeccable, and so I didn't have to get called in. So 5:30 rolls around, and we're one of the only people left in this room. We've been there since about 12. I'm getting very hangry at this point. I'm very ill and just not feeling so hot. And finally, they call number 200. So we go back into the main room. We go to the desk. The man says, you know, congratulations, you've been accepted. Here's all your stuff. Bye. Overall, it was a really simple process to do the premium service, and I would recommend it if you have, you know, the extra funds to do it, because it is expensive, but we did get our result right away. Obviously, I did make some errors. I wasn't allowed to do the binder, and I definitely should have brought something to do sitting in that waiting room. But otherwise, it was a really easy experience, and I'm so thankful that I'm approved. I mean, I'm gonna wrap this up. This feels really rambly. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, let me know. I might be able to help, but probably not. And until next time, bye!